If Rep Your Hood was a person, it would be Ursula Rucker. She's involved. She raised her children there. She's part of the thread of Germantown.
I was born in Germantown on Topahocken Street, and now I have lived in Germantown on my own with my own home. A poet, what? It's one of the things we love about Philly is magical. Don't come here. Stay where you are unless you come in to help and give stuff or whatever, but don't just come to populate. So I'm Germantown, through and through, but my formative years, Mount Airy. Mount Airy John, Mount Airy girl. But it's all relative, East Mount Airy, West Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill, Germantown. When we grow up in these places here in Philly, we grow up in all those places. This is where we are. And Germantown Avenue is the thoroughfare through it all.
Ursula should be the official tour guide of Philly because she'll tell you stories about every block. I know history of Philly, from riding around with Ursula.
All the history is all around you. The Germantown White House. George Washington slept there. I sit on the steps to tie my shoe. I love us. We're so interesting. G-Town. And look at that. Even our abbreviation is cooler than everybody else's neighborhood name. If I'm asked when I started sharing my poetry at the bookstore on Germantown Avenue, Supreme Dow's bookstore that he had on Germantown Avenue. Because that's always out there. It's always happening. That's a tradition that still continues with poets. You can go and do your readings or whatever, your sharings at all. There's always someplace. Zanzibar Blue, my story that everybody knows already. The Arpeggio Jazz Ensemble, their night they did at Zanzibar Blue. And they had an open mic night, and I got up there. I got a little tipsy. And I got up there and I was applying for the hostess job. I applied for the hostess job, and then I went into the Arpeggio Jazz Ensemble night. And that changed it all. And then I was there every week. I thought I had something, but now others, when you share with others, and then they're like, oh. And then in a city like Philly, it's hard. We don't like everything naturally. Hey, I know I've been one of these people in the audience you got to get your weight up. Got to figure out how to do what you do with the rhythm. Got to learn. Yeah, it took a while.
Ursula's a perfectionist with her music, and she's not going to shortcut the process in order to get something out quickly. She's not interested in that.
She got a ridiculous amount of writings, and she has over 300 collaborative recordings with different people.
I always thought that if I ever stopped making solo albums or solo projects, I would never stop doing collaborations, not ever. That's how I started. The first three pushed me. King, For Hero, The Roots. Poems I had to totally uncensor the first time, and then every time and that started me uncensoring myself there and forever.
Ursula is not afraid to be critical, right, of this city, because we do have a lot of problems. That's love. I think one of the things I like about her immediately is that I realized that her art is her activism. So she's not just doing art for art's sake, she's doing art for the people.
A lot of people's fan bases fade off because their music doesn't stand the test of time, or their writings don't stand the test of time. I'm like, yours, whenever you play a gig, it's like you still make people feel the same.